Hello! I'm reviewing the original flick from 1967. It's a James Bond movie called Casino Royale. It's before the Daniel Craig played Daniel Craig. It's not to be confused with the Daniel Craig Casino Royale movie, which that has the same name. It's not that movie. It's this movie. I give this movie a 8 out of 10. This is, congratulations. I have great news. This is the worst Bond movie I've ever seen in my life. This is the worst James Bond movie I've seen in my life. The only one I haven't seen is No Time to Die, but I heard bad things about that one, and also I just haven't heard good things about that one on the internet from when I watch YouTube. It doesn't sound good, but maybe I'll be surprised. It can't be that much worse than this James Bond movie, Casino Royale, from 1967, right? Can it? Only time will tell when I see the movie. No Time to Die was starring Daniel Craig's finality as Bond. Haven't seen it yet. So this time I'm reviewing Casino Royale. With several people playing Bond in the role. Played by several different actors. I shit you not, in the same plot of the movie. This movie has one story, but several Bonds in one movie. One of them is a female Bond. I'm not making this shit up. And one of them is Bond who's afraid to get in the tub with an attractive girl, or doesn't even touch a drink of alcohol. And he's like an older version of Bond. And there's a lot of Bonds in this movie that has different character traits that none of them that really represent the Bond you know and like from the past. This is a confusing movie. I'm not really sure if there's a point to the plot of the movie, or if there's a villain of the movie. I forget how many times I watched this movie. I get confused and so confused. Look, I'm not even about trying to tell you the details of the plot. This way I can basically tell you this movie is a cluttered mess. It's tons of fun if you're not a James Bond fan of the movies. The older movies, you know, before Daniel Craig played Bond. You know, the ones from the 60s era of Bond. This movie kind of fucked and fried my brain. I don't know why did this need to get made and how this got made. I think this was a dumb movie. I have no deep thoughts on it except nothing. I have no thoughts on it that I can say that I liked about it, other than was appreciated. But this is one of the movies where I appreciate more than anything, coming from a Bond fan of the movies, and never looked at the actual stories, and only know that he's a book character before the movies, and he originated from a book. I never looked at any of the stories. I'm only a fan of the James Bond movies. I never looked at any of the books, okay? Stories. And this movie, if you're not a fan of the James Bond movies, this movie will be fun. I guess, or if you can actually, you know, if you can actually get behind the wheel that as the old thing, this movie has its own thing, despite it has the James Bond title despite its marking as a James Bond film, it really doesn't feel that a whole lot at all like a James Bond film. And, there's a bunch of slapstick and action, mixed with some, but even the action is done for slapstick, for funny. It's a fun, creative mess that you can't help to watch. Which is why it's one of my favorite guilty pleasures of all time. James Bond Casino Royale flick from 1967. It's... You know, at some point as a kid, I remember I hated this movie. And a point in my life as a kid, I hated this movie. Like, sometime when I first saw this, I remember hating it. Because I was wondering, what the fuck is the point of everything? Of all this stuff in the movie? Because I don't know why there's more than one James Bond in the movie, and he's played by more than one person in the movie. And I'm confused. That confused me as a kid. And, that's what really confused me out of everything else, the decision-makings in this movie. To this day, that confuses me the most. Why there's so many Bonds in this movie? But they're supposed to accept it, okay? Is it so? And that's why I give Casino Royale a 8 out of 10. Okay, now I'm going to talk to Daniel Craig one called Casino. Talk about the Daniel Craig movie was the same night, Casino Royale from 2005 or 2006 it came out. Okay, so I give this an 8 out of 10. Daniel Craig's Casino Royale. I give Casino Royale with Daniel Craig a 8 out of 10 for being fun, serious, fun action. But I didn't take the movie seriously, even though it takes itself seriously. I just found the movie kind of silly and dumb and cute, and think that it's really. It's just. I think Casino Royale is overrated. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't think it's the most realistic or darkest representation we could have gone with. Well, I don't think it's the most one. I'm trying to say that I don't think it's the most mature story you could have done with Bond. I mean, it feels like a toned down. Daniel Craig's Bond is more like a toned down throwback era to James Bond, but with modern and less gadgets. And that you was so and also, this movie doesn't have any Q providing him. It has his spurious, but doesn't have the guy called Q that provides him gadgets. So he doesn't have any gadgets. So he just has to rely on fist fights, guns, and you know, it kind of, now I'm saying this out loud. This movie feels very generic. Come to think of it, of a James Bond movie and generic action movie. Come to think of it, when I'm saying to describing all this stuff to you out loud, I realize how boring I sound. But that's because the filmmakers wanted to make a more boring, blander Bond. That was not as good of impersonations that left on me. Not good as that didn't left a good impersonation on me compared to the past Bonds before Craig's era. And that includes George Lazenby's Bond, the second Bond after Sean Connery. I found out. I looked that up. And that's the one who played Bond one time in the movie. Forget the title and the name of the movie. And I think Daniel Craig's Bond is somehow more forgettable than George Lazenby's Bond. From that one time George Lazenby Bond movie they played with Bond in. Is what I think of Daniel Craig's James Bond in this movie, Casino Royale. Hi. All I will say, cause Daniel Craig, if one good thing is I can say that Daniel Craig movie goes for, is that Daniel Craig, Daniel Craig is in magnificent shape to play Bond. I wish I was in that good of shape. I wish I was in that good of shape. That's Daniel Craig's Bond part. Sometimes I wish. I still wish that. And I get it. I'm a little confused because it's cold out. And I've been talking a lot. And my dad just came home. And I said hi to him. Okay. So, I think Casino Royale is a dumb movie. It's kind of overrated. It's not a bad movie. It's just an overrated, overhyped mess of a movie. Okay? I just think it's not the maturest Bond story you think could have done with Bond, I think. And I thought the violence was pretty cool, and the action was pretty cool in the movie. And, you know, I don't have a whole lot of praises to say about this movie. Compared to, this movie doesn't sound as exciting to watch as the last movie I talked about in this video, called Casino Royale from 1967. So, I'm not sure which is a worse movie, which movie I like less, and which one I like more. Versus Casino Royale versus the Daniel Craig Casino Royale. You know? But I guess I enjoyed both of them as an 8 out of 10. I give them both a 8 out of 10 Casino Royales from 1967 and 2005 or 2006. The Daniel Craig one came out. Is when. I'll put the right year in my title of my video. Okay. Okay. That's my review on Casino Royale and Casino Royale with Daniel Craig. And I appreciate you for watching this video, my audience. I'm Jake Allen Graham, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and hit the thumbs up on my video. Under my video, hit the thumbs up, and hit the subscribe button to get subscribed to my content, please.